Hello, Day Day. I'm fine. How are you? All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Day Day. Hello, Shen. Hello, Luis. We will get started soon. Let's wait for a few minutes, you know. I'm going to get a little bit more coffee very quickly, okay? So I'll be back in just 1 minute, okay? All right, I'm back. Hello, Atia. Hello, Maria. Hello, MWG. How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Yes? Okay, good. All right, well, we're going to talk about etymology today. How many of you guys came to learn about etymology? Do you guys know what etymology is? Etymology. That's what I'm going to teach. Etymology, Maria, it means the history of where English words come from and how they've changed over time. And if you know a few things about etymology, it can really, really help you to increase your vocabulary quickly. Okay, it can help you to understand English words. It can help you to remember the words, the meaning. It can help you to understand the spelling and the pronunciation. Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay? So why don't we get started? Shall we? Okay, so the first word we're going to talk about, or the first root word. Okay, let me explain a couple of things to you. English is a mix of many languages. Okay? So English has about 60% of the words come from Latin or Greek, which is what we're going to talk about today. 30% of English words come from French. 20% of English words come from German. We have many English words that come from Arabic. We have many that come from Persian. We have many that come from Hindi. Okay, we have words that come from Spanish, Italian, Japanese, Chinese. So there are many words in English that come from other languages. And Latin is the most useful to learn about. All right? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So, for example, do you guys know what this means? There we go. What does this word mean? Aqua. What does aqua mean? Anyone? Right. It means water. That's right. Okay, so how many words are there in English that come from this word? So the root word is aqua. That's the root Latin word, aqua. So how many words do you know in English that have that root? Like the word aquarium. What is an aquarium? What is an aquarium? Hello, hello. Hello, Maria from Brazil. That's right. It's a house for fish. Right. It's a house that you put water in for fish. Right. Okay. Yes, Cassie. For some reason, there's a problem with HelloTalk with the subtitles, but they're trying to fix it. Okay. So the subtitles are not working right now. All right. So aquarium is one word, but we also have the word aquatic. Aquatic means relating to water, okay? If something is aquatic, it has something to do with water. We also have the word aqueduct. What is an aqueduct? Oh, sorry, I spelled it wrong. Aqueduct. What is an aqueduct? Do you guys know what an aqueduct is? Anyone? Come on, class. Let's go. Luis says it transports water. That's right, an aqueduct. Aqua means water, and duct, D-U-C-T, actually means to lead something. So an aqueduct leads the water to the city. Okay, so that's what it does. Yeah, the Romans were famous for building aqueducts that brought water into the Roman cities. Okay, yeah, it's kind of like a water pipe. Okay, it's an aqueduct. We don't use that term very much anymore. It's more of an old term, but it's a good one to learn because aqua means water and duct means to lead. Okay, how about the next one? Let's see, aquifer. What is an aquifer? Now, some of these words are common and some of these words are uncommon. Doesn't matter. The point is they're all related. Okay? An aquifer is an underground layer of water. So it's water that's trapped underground in the soil and rock. That's an aquifer. Okay? An aquifer is maybe you need, water, right? You're trying to create a new settlement, and you need to find fresh water. So sometimes people would look for fresh water underground, and if they found an aquifer, they could tap the aquifer to get the water to make a well. Okay, yeah, underground water. That's what an aquifer is. Okay, aqueous. What does aqueous mean? Aqueous is a word that means made of or having to do with water. Made of or pertaining to water. Aqueous. Aquaplane. Aquaplane is a word, it's a board for riding on water while being pulled by a boat. So it's kind of like a surfboard behind a boat. That's an aquaplane. Plane, planus, is the Latin word that means flat, right? So it's an aquaplane is a flat thing that's on the water that you stand on, okay? That the boat pulls, okay? All right, and then finally, aquaponics. What is aquaponics? Aquaponics is an interesting one. There's another word, aquaculture. Aquaculture and hydroponics. So if you have fish and you have plants and they're growing together, that is aquaponics. Okay? If you have fish and the fish are helping your plants grow and the plants are helping your fish grow, that is called aquaponics. Okay? Somebody said, these words are too difficult to understand. Maybe. Yeah. Some of these words are hard. Some of these words are not common. But you can do it. It's actually not hard because I'm giving you the easy route. I'm giving you all of these words have one meaning. Water. They have something to do with water. Right? Yeah, so that's why this is a good system of learning, because every one of these words have the word aqua in them, and that means all of these words have a meaning about something about water. Okay? And there are more. There are more words here. Kairusha, 你去 如果你不要学英文，你需要去 Okay? 去 Okay, next is aquacade, aquaculture, aquatint, aquanaut, aquascape, aquaclude, aquiferous, aquatard, aquacity, aquafarm, aquaphobia, aquavit. All of those words are scientific words that have to do with water. Okay? An aquacade is an entertainment show performed on water. I saw an aquacade means I saw some people doing some kind of a performance in water. Okay? And aquaculture means you're trying to grow plants and animals together, like fish farming. Okay? And let's see, an aquanaut. Aquanaut is a person who swims underwater using some sort of a breathing apparatus, right? Like if you go scuba diving, then you are an aquanaut. Okay? Aquiferous means containing or having water. All right? So anyway, look, that's one. That's the first one. That's the first one. Water. Aqua. All right? So I just made it easier for you to learn English words by teaching you about the root word aqua. Hello, Flavia and Dustin. Hello. Yes, aquarium. That's right. Okay, let's move on to the next root word. Okay? So the next root word is the root word AUD. Okay, AUD. Do you guys know any English words that have AUD in them? Any English words that have AUD? Audio, audience, very good. Okay, those are the two most common ones. Liquid, no, not that one, Orenbeck. Audition, that's another one. Audit, that's another one. Good. Okay, anyone else? Other English words? Audible, good. Keep coming. There's more. There are more. AUD words. Audit. Not additional. Additional is not AUD. It has to be AUD. All right, let's talk about these AUD words. So the first word is audio. So first, AUD means, if you see any word with AUD, it means something about hearing or listening. Hearing or listening. AUD. Okay, all these words have to do with hearing or listening. So, audio is sound. Audio means sound, okay? Especially recorded sound, that's audio. Audience. The audience is a group of people who listen to you, right? Audible. Audible means it's able to be heard. Okay, I can't hear you. You're not audible. Means I can't hear you. Your voice is not being heard. Okay, audible. Audition. Audition means it's a performance to demonstrate your skill. So someone has to listen to you to see how good you are. Okay, let's see. Audiology. Audiology is the study of sound, the study of listening. It's the study of listening, right? Audiology. Okay, somebody said audacity. Yes, Orenbeck, audacity is related. Audacity means boldness, right? To be bold, to have an audacious idea. An idea is a bold idea. So to be audacious, to have audacity, means to be listened to. Like, you're so bold, you want people to listen to you, right? So that's where audacity comes from, meaning to listen. Listen to me. Hey, listen to me. I've got a good idea. That's audacious. Okay? An audiologist. Audiologist is a doctor who studies listening. You know, they study your hearing. Okay? An audiometer, or an audiometer. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Is it audiometer or audiometer? It might be audiometer. Audiometer. That's a device for measuring sound. Okay, a device for measuring hearing. Sorry, measuring hearing, not sound. So if you go to an audiologist, if you go to a hearing doctor, they will use an audiometer, an audiometer to check your hearing. Okay, audiobook. A book that you listen to. A book that you listen to. Audio-visual. Audio-visual. Audio meaning something you hear, and visual meaning something you see. So it is both something you hear and see. Okay? Audi is a family name, I believe. So I don't think that's related, Orenbeck, but let me check something. So yeah, Audi comes from the Latin translation of the surname of the company's founder, August Horsch. So Horsch's surname was the German word for listen. Yes, so it is related to Audi. His family name comes from the Latin word meaning to hear. Yeah, so Audi comes from the Latin word meaning to hear, audio. Okay, auditorium. Yes, an auditorium, that's the place where you go to listen to people give performances, right? An auditorium. I'm sorry, auditorium. Why did I say auditorium? Auditorium. Take the O out. Auditorium. That's how you say it, and that's how you pronounce it. And I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. Let's go back. There are more. Somebody said audit. What is an audit? What is an audit, everyone? What is an audit? To have your accounts reviewed. That's right. That's what an audit is. An audit means to have your accounts reviewed, like your financial accounts reviewed, right? So some guy will come in and say, I need to look at all your financial papers and see, did you pay your taxes properly? Did you pay for everything correctly? That's an audit. Okay, and an audit means there's somebody who's coming to listen to you as you explain how you've spent your money. Okay, so an audit is a chance for them to listen to you to explain what you've done with your money. That's an audit. Okay, let's see. Audibility. Audibility means the ability to hear something. Is it audible? Means is it able to be heard? Okay. An audiophile. Audiophile means, audio means hearing or listening, and phile means love. So an audiophile is somebody who loves listening. Right? So usually it means somebody who really likes to listen to things carefully. Okay? Audubon, I don't think so. Audubon comes from a name. Again, that's a person's name. Names sometimes don't have an etymological background. Like Audi, the Audi car did, but this one I don't think does. Okay. All right. Next is I think we're almost finished with audio. We have inaudible. Right? Audible and inaudible. So inaudible means you can't hear it. Over audible, very rarely used word. Over audible basically means too loud. Okay? And then we talked about audacious, right? Audacious. All right, so there are a bunch of words that have to do with sound, audio. Under audible. I don't know if that's an official word, Ornbeck, but you could make it one. It would be understood. If you said something is under audible, I would mean I would think it means that its potential for being heard is very low, right? So that means you could make it louder, but it's currently, like you have a range of 1 to 10, but you have it set at 1. Right, so it's under audible. It's not potential. The potential for hearing it is low. It's under audible. Okay. Re-audit. Re means again. So an audit means to listen to you and have you tell them about what you did with your money. So re-audit means to re-listen to you. Okay. All right. That's all of the AUD words for now. Okay. That's all of the AUD words. Okay. Let's do, how about CENT? What does CENT mean? What does CENT mean? not quite everybody. Cent in Latin, it means 100. Cent means 100 in Latin. Okay? So, for example, the word century. Century, 100 years. Centimeter. Yeah, right. Right? 100 centimeters. Percent. Out of 100. Per 100. Right? So cent means 100. Per means 1 of 100. Right? How about, 1 cent. 1 cent means 1 out of 100. Right? Centennial. Centennial means every 100 years. Centigrade. Centigrade means out of 100, a grade of 100. Okay? 100 degrees, centigrade. Also known as Celsius. Right? Centipede. Centipede is a little insect, but it has many legs, and it doesn't always have 100 legs, but we see a lot of legs, and we say, oh, it's like 100. Wow, it's almost like 100 legs, so we call them centipedes. Okay? Centurion. Centurion. A centurion is an officer in the Roman army who commanded 100 soldiers. So a centurion was like a sergeant, right? So the lowest soldiers were the privates, and then, so if you're a private, you're just a regular soldier. But then if you're a little higher up, maybe you're a centurion, and now you are in charge of 100 lower soldiers. Okay? Centurion. How about a centurion? Whoops, sorry. Centarion. Centurion. What is a centurion? Oh, come on. Anyone? A centurion means a person who's 100 years or older. Okay? An octogenarian is a person who's 80. Okay? Or older. So centenarian, centurion would be a person who's 100 or older. Okay? All right, so that's CENT. How about the next one? How about the next word is, the Latin root is cred. How many English words do you know that have cred in them? Cred. Give me an English word that has cred in it. Credit? Mm-hmm. Credible? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Credentials? Good. Creditor? Good. Creation? No. That's not cred. That's C-R-E-A. It has to be C-R-E-D. Credulity? Good. Anyone else? Cred words? DK wants to know how do you, if a centurion is a person of 100 or older, how do you say a person who's 60 or older? That's a sexagenarian. Sexagenarian is that. Septarian, sexagenarian, septarian, octogenarian. 9, I can't remember. Let me see. 90. Nonagenarian. Nonagenarian is a 90 person who's 90 or older. So we have sexagenarian, septuagenarian, octogenarian, nonagenarian, and centenarian. All right, so cred, everybody. Cred means to believe or to trust. Cred means to believe or to trust. So the word credit is, can I trust you to pay me back? Can I believe that you will pay me back? If I can believe that you will pay me back, I will give you credit. Okay? Credible. Credible means, are you believable or trustworthy? Is it believable? That's credible. Okay? Credibility. The ability to believe it. Does it have any credibility? Is it able to be believed? Credibility. Credence. Do you guys know that word? Credence. Credence. The belief that something is true. To give credence to something, to have credence in something, means you believe it's true. Okay? Credentials. Credentials. Those are the qualifications or documents that prove that you are believable, that you are trustworthy, right? So if you show somebody your papers and they start trusting you more, now they believe you more, that's your credentials. Okay? And then a creditor. A creditor is a person who will give you the money. They will trust you with the money, right? That's a creditor. Okay? So credit can be used in the sense like I will pay you because I credit in you. No. You can say, credit is something you give because you trust someone. So you say, because I have trust in you, I will give you credit. Credit comes from the word meaning trust. Okay? DK, these are the original meanings of the words. So you can't just take the original meaning and then say, well, that's how I can use it today. You just have to see that that's where the words come from. Okay? There's a related meaning there, but you can't just apply it to today. Okay? All right, let's see. Other words. Your credo. What is your credo? A credo is a statement of belief or principles, right? So my credo is there are no shortcuts in learning. If you want to learn, get off your ass and start learning. That's my credo. Okay? Incredible, as someone mentioned before, incredible. Incredible means unbelievable, right? So credible means trustworthy, believable. Incredible, in meaning not. So incredible, it's not believable. It's amazing. So now when we say the word incredible, it means it's amazing. But that's because it's so crazy that it's almost not believable. Okay? It's incredible. Incredulous. I was incredulous. That means you're unwilling or unable to accept that something is true. Right? Okay? So if you're unwilling or unable to believe something, then you are incredulous. Okay? I can't believe it's true. I'm incredulous. All right, you find out your best friend murdered your girlfriend. That's incredulous. I can't believe it's true. Okay? Credulity. I love that word. Credulity is a word that means believability, the tendency to believe that it's real. So it means your tendency to believe things can be real. Okay, too easily, right? So if I say that strains credulity, that means believability. Okay? And then finally, credulous. Credulous. That means gullible. Too easy that you believe things. You're gullible. Okay? So all the CRED words, cred, has something to do with trust or belief or believability. Okay, Ives says, but when you say someone has credit for, does it mean deserving trust? Kind of. Yeah. If we say we should give credit to them for doing something, in that case, we're saying we should recognize that they did something good, that now they can be trusted. Okay? To say we give credit where credit is due means he did something good. We should recognize it. And now that we recognize it, we can see that he did something believable, that's trustworthy, that you can now trust them more. Okay? To give credit. Gullible. Yeah, Gullible. Oh, did I put 2 L's? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Yeah, all right. So those are all the CRED words having to do with trust or truth. Okay, believability. Sorry, trust and believability, not truth. Okay. Oh, there are a couple others. Sorry, a few more. Discredit. To discredit someone. Discredit means to harm the reputation of somebody or tell people that you shouldn't trust this person. Okay, so if you discredit someone, you're telling people, hey, don't believe them. Don't trust that person. Okay, you're discrediting them. Okay? Or miscredit. Miscredit means to accidentally give trust to the wrong person or to blame the wrong person, right? So if you made a movie or a song and you accidentally, wrote the wrong person's name for who wrote it, you miscredited them. You accidentally said, this is the person you should trust, but it's not them. Okay? And then we have accredited. Right? And I go to an accredited school. An accredited school means a school that you can trust, a school that you can believe. It's a real school. You can trust it. You can believe it. Okay? It's accredited. All right? And then recredit, although this is not too often. To recredit someone is to restore trust or belief in someone. But that's not a very commonly used word in that way. Usually that word is used in a financial way, like someone bought something and it was broken, now they return it, and now you recredit their card, meaning you give money back to their card after they spent it, if they refunded it. Okay? Okay, and then we did talk to, I think we said this one, incredulity, another good one. Incredulity means the state of being unwilling or unable to believe. Okay? And then overcredulous. That means excessively ready to believe things. Too easily that you believe things. Overcredulous. Credentials is included. Yeah, credentials are the papers that you show people to say, look, you can trust me. You can believe me. I prove who I am. These are my papers. These are my credentials. If you see my credentials now, you can put trust in me. You can believe me. Okay? All right. How are we doing? Wow, only 40 minutes. Did I miss any comments or questions here? Let's go back and make sure. Nope, I think that's it. Okay, good. Credentials means the papers or documents that you show someone so that they will put trust in you. Okay? You want them to give you trust, but they don't have trust in you yet. But you show them some papers that say, hey, look where I went to school. And I also studied with this person. I worked here. This is a famous place I worked at, and they like me. Here's my paper that shows that they like me and that I went to school here. Those are your credentials. Now you've seen that. You can believe me. You can trust me. Because I've shown you my background papers. Okay? Ghazal, I know the subtitles are still not working, and I told them about it. They are working on fixing it. Okay? I don't know why you didn't get a notification. I don't know. Accredited and credible aren't the same. No, not exactly. Let me think of how to explain that. Credible is a word that I would use more for an idea or a belief or a person. Accredited is a word that I would use more for an organization or a group. Okay? An accredited organization is a group that everybody agrees it's trustworthy and believable. Okay? Credible is more like for an idea or a person. Are they believable? So they're very similar, but I think the word accredited is always used for talking about some sort of an organization or group, but credible, it could be used for a person, a group, or an idea. Okay? Today, my children discredited me about what I said about his games. Let me see. So to discredit someone... Maybe. If your son doesn't think that what you say about his games is good advice, then he will say, yeah, my father doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know how to play this game. He's discrediting you. He's telling people, you shouldn't trust him, you shouldn't believe him, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's discrediting you. Okay? How can you, okay, Catalina has a question. I will answer a random question. How can you use faux pas in a meaningful context? Faux pas is a French word. It's an English term that's derived from French. And it means actually, and actually I think it's even, is that derived? Let me see. Let me check something. Faux pas. It's French, and yeah, it really means false step. Faux pas. Pas means step, and faux means false. So a faux pas, it means a mistake that you made, like a social mistake usually, right? So for example, okay, for an example, your brother is the president of some important organization. He's the president of his company or some group. He's a president, okay? And everybody calls him Mr. President all the time, or Sir, right? Something like that. They use a formal word for it. But your sister, she comes to a business meeting and she calls you Brian, your name, or something, or she calls you Bri, you know, a little cute name that she has for you. That would be a faux pas. That would be a social mistake that you made where you're saying something you shouldn't in that situation. Okay? You made a it really means a misstep. A misstep is like I accidentally went the wrong way. I shouldn't have done this, I should have done that. It's a faux pas. Okay, it's an accident. Okay? It doesn't mean screw up. It just means something that you did that people go, ooh, you shouldn't have said that. You know, like anybody who says, you know, who does this like, ooh, did he really just say that? That's a faux pas. Okay? Can you say loving him was a faux pas? You can. It's a little simplistic and maybe not quite the best way. I think it would sound better if you just said it was a misstep or a mistake. Okay? Sometimes, I mean, that's more of a metaphorical way, or I shouldn't say metaphorical, literary way to say you made a mistake. Like a poem. Right. Yeah. Right. It's a literary kind of way to use it. Hello, Lynn. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, let's continue on with the next set of words, shall we? I'll go a little bit longer. Okay, let's try all the words that have duct in them. D-U-C-T. D-U-C-T. Can you think of any words that have D-U-C-T in them? Either D-U-C-T like the beginning or D-U-C-T in the middle, like this. Ductile, yes, sure. Reduct, sure. Anything else? Reduct, conduct, ductwork, product. More? Conduct. Ductless. How about abduct? Abduct. To abduct someone. So, the letters D-U-C-T, it means to lead away. To lead something or to lead away. All right? So, conduct. Conduct means to lead or guide someone. Okay? Conduct. Con meaning together or with, and duct meaning from the Latin word ducere meaning to lead, right? So to conduct means everybody together, I will lead you. I will conduct you, right? So a symphony, if you see a symphony, dun 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 dun, he's called the conductor. Why? Because he's leading them. He's conducting them. Okay? Product. Product is something that is made as a result of work. Okay? As a result of work. So a product let's see, comes from the word produce. Pro meaning to bring forth and lead. So to produce something means to, pro means to bring forward. In this case, pro means to bring forward, and duct means to lead. So it means that you bring a new product, you bring a new thing forward to everybody to show them, here's this new thing we should use. Okay, you're leading them with this new product you have, this new thing you have. Okay? How about the word introduce? Introduce. Okay, so intro means to lead in or bring in, okay, inward from the inside, and deuce means to lead. So in this case, it's like you're telling somebody who you are. You're leading by telling people, this is who I am. Hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. If you want to lead, you have to tell people who you are, right? They have to know who you are, right? So to introduce yourself, nobody's going to let you lead until you introduce yourself. Okay? So to make known, right? To make your information known is to give yourself an introduction. Okay? How about reduce? To reduce. To lead something down. Right? To lead something down. To reduce it. Okay? Or to deduce. To deduce means to lead you there through logic. You're leading someone through logic. That's to deduce something. By using logic, you lead them. Okay? Educate. Educate. Educate means to lead or draw out knowledge from someone. Okay, so if I lead the knowledge, if I draw out the knowledge from you, I'm leading it out from you, then I'm educating you. Okay? In which direction to use what, Maria? Okay, and then we have induce. Induce means to lead or bring about, right? To induce, what do they always say? To induce a coma, right? Means to bring about a coma. Maybe somebody got hurt very badly and they need to be put into a coma, so they induce a coma. To induce. Okay? How about abduct? Abduct. Ab means away, and duct means lead. So to abduct someone means to lead them away, to take them away, to lead them away. And conductive. Conductive means having the ability that electricity can go through it. So can electricity lead itself through there, then it's conductive. Okay? If electricity can go through it, can be led through, then it's conductive. Okay? And then we talked about this one before, aqueduct. Aqua means water and duct means lead. So an aqueduct was something that would lead the water into the city. Okay? Subduction, yeah, subduce, yeah. That's the process by tectonic plates, right? So when the two big pieces of plates on the earth come together, sometimes one of them goes under. Sub means under or below, and duct means to lead. So subduction means the earth is being led under. What are the situations or cases to use the words reduce and deduce? To reduce means we need to reduce pollution. Right? We need to reduce pollution. We need to reduce wasteful spending. We need to reduce the number of electric cars in the world. Means to lower, to decrease. Okay? To deduce means to find the answer through logic, right? So Sherlock Holmes, the great detective, right? To deduce. What does he do? He deduces things through logic. He looks around and says, oh, I see that this happened and this happened and this happened. It must have been this. That's logic. It's deduction. Excuse me. Okay? Then we also have transduce. To transduce something means to convert energy from one signal form to another. Trans means across. Okay? So transduce means you have one kind of energy and you want to transfer it to another kind of energy, so you need to lead it across. Transduce. Across, lead. To lead it across, to transduce. Okay? What about viaduct? Have you guys ever heard that word? The viaduct? Viaduct. So what is a viaduct? Anyone? A viaduct is a bridge that carries a railroad or a road over a valley, right? So maybe not a river. It doesn't have to cross a river, but it has to cross a valley. That's a viaduct. Via, actually, the word via means the road, okay? And duct means to lead. So a viaduct leads you to the road. Okay, yeah, guys, these are hard words. This is not for beginners. Okay, this is not for beginners. But you can do it. Pay attention, guys. Listen, I started learning this stuff when I was 15. Okay, I started learning this stuff when I was 15, and I did it the same way I'm doing it with you right now. Okay, I'm showing you how English words have one little root word in them. And if you know that one root word, then you know a lot of words. This is a much better way to learn vocabulary. Okay, instead of learning a bunch of words that are not related, how about you find all the words that are related? Okay, so it's a hard thing, but it's a very, very, very useful trick. Or tip, okay, for efficient learning. Is a specialist for crossing a river. For crossing a river, we usually just say a bridge. Okay, but a viaduct is more like a road that's meant to lead you from either over a valley, or a railroad over a valley, or it could be from one road to another road. Like my city has a viaduct, and it's really just a road that connects two big roads. Okay? All right, I know, it can be hard. It can be hard, but it's also useful. All right? And we're almost finished. Let's see. Conductivity. We talked about conductivity. Means, does this thing have the ability to lead electricity? If it has conductivity, it means electricity can go through it, can be led through it. Okay? Somebody mentioned ductwork, right? What does ductwork do? What does ductwork do? What is a duct? And yes, conductivity can be for electricity, heat, or even sound. Does it? Is it conductive to sound? Is it conductive to heat? Is it conductive to electricity? Does it have the ability to lead sound? Does it have the ability to lead heat? Does it have the ability to lead electricity? Okay, that's conductivity. All right, yeah, creating channels, right? So a duct is something usually for air, right? To lead air, right? So DUCT means to lead. Right? So the ducts lead the air where you want it to go. Okay? All right. Let's see. How many more words do we have? We said subduction, conducive. Conducive, that's a good one. Conducive. Conducive is a word that means tending to lead or contribute to a good outcome. So your video games are not conducive to a good learning environment. They're not leading you to a good learning environment. Okay? It's not conducive. Right? The word conductor, we also use the word conductor. We use the conductor as for music. Conductor is also for trains. The guy who drives the train is called the conductor. Why? Because he's leading the train. He's leading the train. Okay? And then we have the last word is reduction. To reduce. Okay, and in this case, it means to go back, to lead back, right? To reduce, a reduction means to go back to something lower, to something lesser. Okay, a reduction. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, it means to lead lower, to lead back to a time that was lower, to reduce. Okay? Duct, yeah, means to lead something. D-U-C-T, all those words mean something about leading something. Okay? Like the word educate. Educate actually means to lead the information out of you. Right? So I am pulling the information out of you. I'm leading it out. I'm saying, hey, information, come out. I'm leading it out. I'm educating you. Okay? All right, do you guys have any questions? King says, Maria says, duct sounds like duck. It does, but listen, duct, duct, duct. I've got a strong T on the end of it. But the other word, duck, duck, duck. No T. Okay? Duct, duct. Okay? Any questions? Again, remember, guys, I do many live streams. Some of my live streams are for beginners or intermediate level learners. Many of my live streams are for beginner and intermediate level learners. But some of my live streams are for intermediate to advanced learners. All right, so just a couple days ago, I did some advanced vocabulary words. That's not for beginners. That's not for intermediate. That's for advanced learners. Okay? Today is for intermediate to advanced learners. Okay? And I'm trying to show you that there is... You want a trick, right? You want a shortcut. That's what you always look for, is tricks and shortcuts. How can I do it faster? Well, guess what? There are not many tricks, there are not many shortcuts in learning a language, especially English, but this is one of them. If you understand where the words come from, it can make your life a lot easier when you're trying to learn vocabulary words. Okay? It can make your life a lot easier. Now, for the rest of your life, maybe you'll see a word that you don't know. You'll say, oh, I don't know this word, but it has the letters D-U-C-T in it, or it has the letters R-E, meaning again, or it has the letters post, meaning after, or it has the letters A-R-C-H, meaning to rule, or it has the letters magna, meaning great. So then you know part of the meaning, right? If you see any word that has magna in it, it means something about greatness. If you see any word that has A-R-C-H in it, it means something about ruling, leading, ruler, being a ruler, right? Monarchy, okay? Oligarchy, arc, okay? Patriarchy, monarchy, matriarchy, all those arc words, they mean something about being a ruler. Okay? So, etymology is a game changer. I think it is, yeah. I think it is. And there's another part of this, too, that we didn't even get to yet. Etymology is also interesting because sometimes, every once in a while, the words have an interesting story about where they come from. Okay, what about the word car? Do you guys know where the word car comes from? Car is such a small word. It's a very common word. And we've been using it for, since the late 1800s? Mid-late 1800s, we've been using the word, I would say at least 1900s. Before that, we used automobile. But I'm sure around the 1900s, we used the word car. Where does the word car come from? Anyone? Does anyone know? Where do we get the word car? Hello? That's right, Hashem. But can you explain it? So the word car, what is a car? It's an automobile, right? It's something you drive, right? You drive a car, right? Well, the word car originally comes from the French word carre, and before that it came from the Latin word carum, or carus, okay? And let me ask you a question. If you went to the Roman Empire, and you wanted to get around, what kind of vehicles did they use in the Roman Empire? Did they have cars? Did they have automobiles in the Roman Empire? Anyone? Did they have cars? No, the car wasn't invented yet. So what kind of thing did they use to move around? Carriage, but that word carriage, again, has the letters car in it, right? They used like a horse, right? They'd have a horse or maybe two horses, right? So they have one horse or two horses, and then behind the horse, what do they have behind the horse? Something that you can stand on or sit on. What do we call that? Sometimes we call that a cart. Yes, the word is chariot. But the funny thing is, the word chariot is not what the Romans called it. The Romans never called it a chariot. The Romans called it a carum. So the word carriage and the word chariot, and the word car, all come from the original Latin word carum. And a carum just meant two horses that were pulling something that you could stand on, like a carriage or a cart. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, what about the word, I've talked about this one many times before, steak. What is a steak, everyone? What is a steak? What is a steak? Could be, but there's a much more common meaning for the word steak. Steak could be a part of something, right? Like I have a stake in the company, but that's actually S-T-A-K-E, not S-T-E-A-K. Okay, S-T-E-A-K means meat, right? Cooked meat is a steak. right? Who likes steak? Anyone? I like steak. I love steak. Okay, now, steak, let me ask you a question. 5,000 years ago, if you wanted to cook a piece of meat, I give you a piece of meat, I give you some beef, and now you want to cook it. What is the easiest, fastest, most simple way to cook that? What do you do if you want to cook that? What's the easiest way to do it? Stick it. That's exactly right. And that is the reason why the word stick and the word steak look like each other. Stick and steak. Because a steak is a piece of meat. And the first way that we cooked that meat was we put the meat on a stick over the fire. So the word steak and the word stick, they sound similar because they're related. That's how we cooked meat, was with a stick. Okay? That's interesting. And today, I just learned another one. This is kind of different, but it's about food history. The word tomato. Where does the word tomato come from? Where does the word tomato come from? If you think that's interesting, then you're going to love this. Where does the word tomato come from? And yes, a language evolved this way. That's exactly right. This is how the English language was created this way. Where does the word tomato come from? Anyone? Do we have any Mexican people in the audience today? Hola, mucho gusto. Any Mexicans here? You should know this word. No Mexicans. There we go. Yes, that's right. Tomato. The word is tomato. It comes from the early Mexican language, Nahuatl, which is an early language. And the word tomato comes from the word tomato. But, excuse me. When they brought tomatoes, so tomatoes come from Mexico. Tomatoes come from Mexico. Christopher Columbus, right? Columbus, the guy who came to America, 1492, right? Columbus came to America. And when he came to America, he found tomatoes. When he came to the Americas, they found tomatoes. And they brought the tomatoes back to Europe. So, when we think about Italian food, the first vegetable that I think of is tomatoes, right? On their pizza, they have tomatoes and they have mozzarella and basil, red, white, and green, just like their flag. But tomatoes didn't come from there. Tomatoes come from Mexico. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The original name of tomatoes, when they first brought tomatoes to Europe, the rich people called them something else. The rich people called them this. The rich people called them poison apples. They thought that tomatoes were poison. They thought that they would kill you. Do you know why? This is very interesting. Or at least I think it's very interesting. So the rich people thought that tomatoes were poison, and the reason why was because rich people, they ate their food on plates that were made of something called pewter. P-E-W-T-E-R, pewter. Do you guys know what pewter is? Pewter. P-E-W-T-E-R, pewter. Pewter is a soft kind of metal. It's an early metal that they used to use a long time ago for a lot of things, and it's a metal that's very soft and easy to use to make things. And the reason it's easy to use is because it has lead in it. Lead is a metal, but it's a soft metal. You can pound lead, right? So their plates were made of lead. They had lead plates. Now, usually it was fine. Most of the time when they would eat on these plates, it was not a big problem. But tomatoes have a lot of acid in them. Tomatoes are a highly acidic vegetable. right? So when you put highly acidic vegetables onto a lead plate, the acid pulls the lead out of the plate. And so if you eat tomatoes on a lead plate, you might die. You might be poisoned by the lead. But the poor people, they didn't have lead plates. They had wooden plates. They had wood, cheap plates. So the poor people ate the tomatoes and they were fine. So tomatoes became popular because the poor people were eating them first. The rich people wouldn't eat them. They thought they would kill them. But it wasn't the tomatoes that killed them. It was their plates. It was their plates. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Yeah. They called them poison apples. Okay? Yeah. All right. See? That's like etymology, too. That's part of etymology. We're talking about the name of the tomato. And what do they call tomatoes in Italian? Let me see something. Hold on. Pomo. Not in there. Somebody told me about this, and now I can't remember what it is. Oh, right. They call them pomodoro. And what does pomodoro mean? Do you guys know what pomodoro means in Italian? Pomo means apple. What does Doro mean? It means gold. That's right. So Pomodoro means golden apple. And the reason why is because the first tomatoes they brought over were not red. They were more like a gold, yellow, orange color. Okay, so tomatoes in Italian is pomodoro, which means golden apple. And that's because they looked kind of like apples, but they were a different color. That's etymology too. That's etymology too. How about, I see a bunch of people here from Persia and Arabic-speaking people. What about the word pants? How do you say pants in Arabic? How do you say pants in Arabic, everybody? Anyone? How do you say pants in Arabic? There's a word. I'm waiting. The word, no, not that one, not shalwar. What about the word bantalon? Bantalon. There we go. And how do you say pants in Spanish? Pantalones. And how do you say pants in English? Pants. Right? So we have Arabic pantalon, Spanish pantalones, English pants. And look, Turkish pantalon. That's etymology. Okay? But we also have many words. So I see a bunch of Persians here from Iran. We have a bunch of words from Persian as well, right? Like, for example, when you play the game chess, if you play the game chess, checkmate, I win, checkmate, shachmat, the king is dead or the king is captured. Checkmate. Yeah, there you go. Okay? And the French word is also related, right? Yeah. Okay? Or, let's see, the word lemon comes from Persian. The word peach comes from Persian. The word cash comes from Persian. Checkmate comes from Persian. Paradise comes from Persian. Okay, so there are a bunch of words that come from Persian. We also have a bunch of words that come from Arabic. Okay, a whole bunch of words that come from Arabic. We have words that come from Hindi, too. Like the word shampoo comes from Hindi. It means to massage. Bungalow comes from Hindi. Jungle comes from Hindi. Pajamas comes from Hindi. Loot comes from Hindi. Chutney, dinghy, juggernaut, thug, bandana, bangle, cashmere, chit, cot, khaki. All of these words come from Hindi. Okay? Magic, yes, magic comes from originally, so it was French, magique, then it was Latin before that, magice, then it was Greek before that, magica, then it was, or magikos, then it was Persian, magouche. And the original meaning is to be able or to have power. Okay? There you go, Moog in Persian. All right, so that's what makes that's what makes English interesting. English is a language that comes from many places. Okay? Dill says hospital comes from Persia. That's not what my information says. I see that hospital comes from Latin. Hospitalis in Latin means a guest or host. The earliest etymology I can find goes back to Latin. If you have a link for the word hospital that comes from Persian, I'll read it. But as far as I know, the word hospital comes from Latin, not Persian. Okay? All right. I've been here for almost an hour and a half. So does anyone have any questions about etymology or anything? The first one, the first one who invented surgery and the hospital concept. Well, Dill, that's a very difficult thing to argue. I'm going to do a little reading to find out, but I'm willing to bet that the first one who invented surgery and hospital is probably kind of like who made the first musical instrument and what was it. There's no real way for us to know because the things that they used to make those things a long time ago are not here anymore. They're gone, right? So the first flutes were made of wood, but they're thousands of years old, so the wood is gone now, so we don't really know. Right? So we don't really know. So what I mean is that probably the hospital and surgery, that concept was created by multiple different societies at different times, right? So certainly there was one who was the first, but nobody can really probably be certain of who that really was. It's too hard to know. Okay, history is fun that way. Remember, history, it's a story, and it's the story that's the best story that we know. We don't know for sure, but it's as good as we know. That's what history is. History is a story, and it's basically us doing the best we can to understand what happened to us in the past. But it's not a perfect story. We don't always know everything. We're not always certain how things worked. Okay? Like, for example, Dill, the word ambulance. What is an ambulance? What is an ambulance, everyone? This will be my last word. Ambulance. So safari, my dictionary says safari comes from Swahili, and that comes from Arabic. So my dictionary says that the word safari comes from Arabic, not from Persian. The original Arabic word was safar, which means journey. And I will tell you this. Go here. This is the website that I'm using. etymonline.com. It's a free app or a website, and it's an etymology dictionary. You can look up any word, and they will tell you where it comes from. ChatGPT is okay, but not great for this. Etymonline is a better source than ChatGPT, in my opinion. Etymonline is an etymology dictionary. That's the whole purpose of that dictionary, is to know where the words come from. So an ambulance. What is an ambulance? Afzal says it's something that takes people to the hospital. That's right. But the original word ambulance comes from the Latin word ambulare, meaning to walk. So if the word ambulance means to walk, then why does it mean like a car that drives you fast now? The first ambulances were not cars. The first ambulances were tents. A tent. So if your king is going to go to fight. Your king is going to fight a battle. Right? He's going to fight a battle against this other king, right? So let's say the king of France and the king of England, they decide to have a fight. Let me ask you a question. If you get hurt when you're in the fight, where do you go? A long time ago, if you were in a fight, in a battle, and you got hurt, they don't have a hospital. There is no hospital. So where do you go now? Where do they take you when you're sick on the battlefield, when you get hurt on the battlefield? They take you to a tent. That's exactly right. They take you to a tent where the doctors are, or the person will come to help you, right? But the tent, what if the battle moves? So first they started here, they were fighting here, but then the soldiers moved. So now they're moving. Well, guess what? They have to pick up the tent and move the tent. So the word ambulance means you used to pick up the tent and move it. And that's what was the hospital tent that you would move. That was the ambulance. That's why it means to walk. And the word to ambulate still means to walk. Ambulate is a formal word, not a common word, and it means to walk. He ambulates well means he walks well. All right, all etymology, all of that. It affects food, it affects medicine, it affects science, it affects technology. How about this one? What about this? What is this word? Engine. What is an engine? What is an engine? Come on. About power, a motor, right? That's what it means now. That's right, Theo. It comes from the French engin, meaning clever. Okay? So the word engine, now, when we think of the word engine, we think about a car, right? Inside the car, they have an engine, right? In the boat, they have an engine. In the plane, they have an engine. But the word engine is very old. It goes back thousands of years. This word, it's French, but before French, it was Latin. And I want you to think about if you were a king. Again, you're a king and you want to fight a war against another king. Okay? And one day you decide to fight a war and you have your soldiers and they have their soldiers and you come to the battlefield, right? But you look and you see something and he has something new. He built something new. He has something that throws rocks at you. Or he has something that shoots arrows at you, big arrows. Or he has something that throws fire at you. Or he has something that will knock down your doors, your walls. Those were called war engines. The original meaning of the word engine comes from the word war engine. And a war engine, it means they came to fight and they look over and they see, hey, look, they have something new that we don't have. That's very clever. That's very clever. Wow, how clever. How ingenious. Engin. That's clever. They have a new thing that we haven't seen. It's genius. So the word engine now means something that's like a motor, right? But it's clever. It's a clever thing that helps you. Engines are clever things that help you. It's technology. That's essentially what the word means. Engine means clever, but it basically means clever technology that helps you. Right? So an engine now is a motor. That's a clever technology that helps you. But a war engine was like a catapult is a war engine. Right? Yeah. Look, and that's from Theo, who's French. So that's why I love etymology, because etymology can impress anyone. You know, etymology can impress anyone. Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. That's going to do it for me. I need to go get some lunch. It's about 12 o'clock noon here. It's time for me to go get some lunch and then do some other work. Okay? And the word catapult comes from the French word catapulte, and from the Latin word catapulta, from the Greek word catapeltus, from the word kata, meaning against walls. So the word catapult means to throw things against walls, because that's what it does. All right. Thank you, Bellin. Yes, looking into your roots is always interesting. You should do that. Okay, guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you over here in YouTube to Maria and Dustin and Flavia and Tina. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Dill. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Ashraf. Thank you, Bellin and Ghazal. Thank you guys for watching and participating and following. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. I'll see you guys next time, okay? Don't forget to follow. Here's my link to follow. I always forget to do that. Here's my YouTube. And here is my website. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time.